All right, three, two, one. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Conspiracy Detective Agency, where this week I'm handing over the reins to a very special boy here. I'm Ben, and this is
A very special boy.
a very special boy. So, tell me what is in store for me this week.
So, as a little tease, we've got everything you love. We've got murder.
Ooh,
We've got conspiracies.
ooh,
We've got questions,
ooh.
and we'll maybe get some answers.
And
Maybe we won't.
best of all, we got ourselves.
Yes, of course. We've got ourselves for this glorious conversation that's going to leave us depressed as it always does.
And as always, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna
Yes, 100%.
we're gonna put the lid on this topic.
Yeah. So, Ben,
Me.
you don't know anything about the Zodiac killer, correct?
He's a killer in America, or
Mm-hmm.
used to be, I should say. I don't know
Okay.
when, but he he was a serial killer who almost got caught a few times, and there's a lot of different rumors of who he is.
Okay. Okay.
That's all my knowledge.
Okay. Well, we're gonna delve into him a little bit.
All right, delve
Not
into him,
not physically, just mentally.
Mr.
Um.
Zodiac,
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Killer. First name
Mr.
is
Killer.
Zodiac. Wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
So, I want you to. So what I've got is I've compiled a few different websites and articles and things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna kind of go through them. For people that's listening, if you don't know anything about this, then I'll try my best to kind of explain it all because there is a lot. And for the people that do already know this, you'll sort of probably find it easy to understand. So cast your mind back, Ben.
Okay.
As we always do at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of these episodes, we go back in time. We do a bit of time traveling.
My eyes are closed. Let me picture it.
All right, America,
All right, got a good idea already.
California.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. December 20th, 1968.
Ooh, so a
Yeah.
few days before Christmas,
Yep.
1968. So,
The moon landing's coming in a year.
in a few months, yeah.
What day was the moon landing?
Was it September?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, uh,
Anyway, yes. So 1968, December 20th. There's a lot of dates, so
mm-hmm.
like I'm gonna try and tell it in the correct order, which would make sense.
Okay.
Right. So December 20th, Betty, who is 16, she's called Betty Lou Jensen.
Betty Lou Jensen.
Yeah, her and a man slash boy called
Mm-hmm.
David Arthur Faraday,
Okay.
who was 17 at the time.
Okay.
They were parked on a spot at a Lake Herman Road on the east side of Vallejo, California.
Right.
So it's near this lake. They're
Is it
probably,
like a teen
canoodling.
hotspot?
Yes, it is. We'll get into that in just a second.
Okay.
But they're probably, out there canoodling or something. I
You
don't
know,
want to. I don't want to
playing
think what they were doing.
playing some tiddlywinks.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. Probably listening to some radio. Um. So witnesses of
Mm-hmm.
this say that they saw them sort of huddled together in the front seat at about 10:15 p.m.
Okay.
So who knows?
Listening to the
Listening to some
Beatles.
radio. Yeah. And then again at 11 p.m. So for like 45 minutes, they were
They
listening to
were,
some Beatles.
yeah. Hey Jude came out in
Oh, did it?
1968.
Maybe they were just listening to that on repeat for 40 minutes.
I mean, I would.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd listen to it for
All
40
right.
minutes. It's a good song, but
It
that's
is,
it.
yeah, okay.
And the witnesses said nothing about it seemed weird.
Yeah.
However, 15 minutes later, everything had took a tragic turn.
What?
So, the couple at 11:15 were discovered lying on the ground outside a bullet-riddled car.
Ooh.
Jensen was several feet from the car, dead.
Right.
He had 5 gunshot wounds in his back.
Hmm.
Faraday, which is the guy, was close by, and he'd been shot in the head at like a really close range, but he was just about still alive. But unfortunately, he died on the way to the hospital.
Okay.
So within this 15 minutes, someone's come and shot him quite a lot. I mean, there was 5 in the girl, 1 in the guy, and then the car was just full of them.
So just the two of them.
Yeah, just the 2 of them.
So within 15 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, already,
Mhm.
um, I assume you're gonna say this is some Zodiac suspected it was him.
Okay.
And if so, I I know a few serial killers, not personally.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've
You
read
might.
up a I might indeed. From what I know, usually they're very methodical. Like it will be a kidnapping first, killing
Mhm.
later, or it'll be a very clean thing. But an area where a bunch of people have been shot
Mm.
is not the usual thing
Yeah, in my, um, experience, I guess, it's
with
like
serial.
with serial killers, it's usually, like you said, like, planned
Yeah.
and everything, they clean up and all this, they're very careful, but, this whatever this was not
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
So detectives had some clues, so they'd been called up earlier in that night, um, because there was an earlier confrontation apparently
Right.
in that place. Bill Crow and his girlfriend, who were parked at the same place as they were,
Hmm.
only 45 minutes earlier before they got there,
Yeah.
called the police and said that a white Chevy drove past them, stopped, and then reversed. So the guy sped up and went in the opposite direction. The
Okay.
Chevy then turned around to follow them, but couldn't really keep up because the guy made like a sharp right and got out.
Right.
2 hunters also report seeing a white Chevy parked at a gravel turnaround on the road.
That wasn't why they called the police.
No, no,
No. Okay, that was just a detail that they brought up.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that was in December. That's that.
That's the end of that. It was
That's the end of that.
unsolved
Yep,
as we're
no
leaving.
idea.
All right.
They said that um, the 2 guys that saw the Chevy went and approached the car but didn't look inside.
Okay.
So, we now move on to July 4th, 1969.
Ooh, okay.
What is that, like just over 6 months? Or just under 6 months?
Yeah.
Um, we have Darlene, 22, and Michael, who was 19.
Mhm.
They were parked at a Blue Rock Springs golf course
Ooh.
in Benicia around midnight.
California, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything that we talk about is California, I think, unless I say otherwise.
Oh, okay.
Um, so it was 4 miles away from where the other 2 were killed.
Right.
A car pulled up behind them, blocking them from driving away.
Mhm.
And then a man who Michael, the 19-year-old, believed was a police officer, left his car holding a flashlight that obscured his face.
Okay.
He then approached the driver's side of the car and immediately began shooting at the couple.
Jesus.
I know. He fired 5 9mm rounds into the car, and
Mhm.
hit both of them.
So who
Um,
saw this?
hold on, hold on, hold
Okay, so
hold on.
all
Hold your
right.
bloody horses. Um, so yeah, he shot into the car, hit both of them.
Mhm.
He then turned to leave, but he heard that, Michael, who was the guy, was, like, shouting.
Right.
So he then walked back up and shot 4 more times.
Why would you yell?
I know. 1 hit the guy and then 2 hit the girl.
Okay.
He then got in his car and went away. So within minutes, 3 teams came across the couple. Um,
Okay.
Authorities found the both of them still alive, actually.
How the hell?
I know.
Did you mess that up?
I know.
Just
Um, however, the girl did die
okay,
just before she got to the hospital. Same as the other story, funnily enough.
right.
Um, and the guy lived,
Huh.
and that's how we know about all of this. He,
So now we have a description of the killer.
yes, so he gave a description of the shooter: a short, heavy-set white man,
Uh-huh.
about 5'8", and about
Yeah, it's not that
195
short. What's he on about?
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it is,
You
but
shut up.
we here at the at the CDA believe that's average height.
That's yeah.
Um, yeah, and he was 195 pounds, so a pretty average white guy.
Just an average right guy. Okay.
Yeah,
And no link to him at all
nope.
before. Okay.
So that was about midnight. So at about 20 to 1,
Mhm.
an anonymous male caller rang the Vallejo Police Department,
Mhm.
reporting that the about the murders, and he claimed responsibility.
Ooh.
The police traced the call to a phone booth blocks from the police department and less than a mile from Ferrin's home, which was the girl.
Okay.
He said to them, "I wish to report a double murder. If you will go 1 mile east on Columbus Parkway to a public park, you will find the kids in a brown car. They have been shot by a 9mm Luger. I also killed those kids last year. Goodbye."
Oh, well, at least he's honest.
I mean, yeah, it's nice of him, I
Well,
suppose.
this is another thing with serial killers is usually eventually they want the police to be onto them
Yeah, otherwise they'd be
because
bored.
yeah. I mean, this is pretty quick. This is second murder and he's
Yeah.
already feeling pretty confident.
Mm. I mean, it's like 6 months after as well,
Yeah.
which I don't know about timelines in serial killers, but I imagine if I've done it, on a Saturday, I'd probably want to do it again pretty soon.
Next Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, maybe make it a weekly thing.
Yeah, why not?
So yeah, so that was that.
Mhm.
So then on August 1st, so just under a month after,
Okay.
um, three different newspaper places. What would you call them?
Publishers?
Yeah, publishers. Got basically the exact same letter at the same
Let's
time.
okay.
And this is where we begin the letters.
Right.
This is a big thing, and it will come up a few times.
Right.
Um, it was written by a person that was taking credit for the attacks on both of the murders.
Okay.
He gave details about both of them, and included 1/3 of a mysterious cipher in each letter, so that
Ooh, I like
when they
that.
put it together, obviously it
Oh.
creates it.
Okay, so he's a bit of a riddler.
He is. He's a clever clogs.
He enjoys his smarts and like messing with others. Okay.
The self-proclaimed killer demanded that the letters be published on the front of the newspaper's pages by the next Friday, or he'd just randomly kill like a dozen people over the weekend.
Okay, okay. He's becoming more supervillain territory now.
Yeah, yeah. He's like demanding
Yeah.
exposure, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, and then he signed all the letters with a circle with a cross in it.
Okay. Sort of like the
And
X-Men.
yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
like the cross is like a Catholic cross.
Crucifix.
Yes, crucifix. Um, it's sort of like a bullseye,
Okay.
and that's like his kind of logo thing.
All right. He has a logo. I like that.
Yeah, he like brands himself.
Yeah.
Um, so they published them, the letters,
Okay, they did it.
and the letters that they published was the ciphers and stuff.
Right.
So everyone, like people, families and stuff, and parents or whatever, like open the newspaper, like, oh, maybe the Red Sox have won, and oh, look, there's a bunch of like ciphers. What's this? It's like a word search. So everyone was just kind of trying to figure it out. Um, And then I think, yeah, so then on August 4th, which is
Hang on,
three
sorry.
days later.
Was the actual letter in the newspaper? So people read that as well?
Yeah, so people read the letter
Right.
and the cipher, I think.
Okay. So he's
Um,
building paranoia.
yeah. And everyone's obviously reading them and trying to figure out what the ciphers are and stuff.
Yeah.
He's getting out there.
Yeah.
And then 3 days later, on August 4th, the investigators said that they doubted the authenticity of the letters,
Okay.
and they tried to get in contact with him. And that worked. And so on August 4th, another letter came in.
Ooh.
Um, so the letter began with the words that have since haunted many involved in the case. It said, it started with, "Dear editor, this is the Zodiac speaking."
The Zodiac.
So this was obviously the first time that he'd used his name. Oh,
Yeah.
well, the pseudonym Zodiac.
Mhm.
Um, he then, to prove that the letters and stuff he sent and all the stuff he was saying was real, he included more information, which basically confirmed that he was present during both the murders and that his identity was going to be hidden inside the ciphers.
Ooh, his identity.
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
which I don't know why he said that because it's kind of not true.
Yeah, I can imagine a killer wanting to mess with people to be like, "You're not smart enough because you're still not figuring out who I am."
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Is
so
is it
go-
Zodiac a thing? Is that just a name or, like, is it an actual like, what's a Zodiac?
I believe at the time, let me just double check on Google. At the time, the only thing people kind of associated it with was a company,
Right.
um, which was a
Like,
watch company, Swiss-made watches.
when was zodiac signs a thing?
Zodiac signs.
Yeah, like star signs.
Oh, I don't know actually. Probably a while ago, I imagine.
Yeah, it might be to do with that.
However, the logo of the watch company
Mhm.
is a circle with a cross in it.
Oh, well, that's a pretty big giveaway.
So, like,
Ooh,
I assume that's where he gets it from.
okay, or he has something to do with that.
Yeah, yeah, or he has something to do with it.
Yeah,
So, about a week after, on August 8th,
okay.
um, so it's exactly a week after they got the first letter,
Mhm.
a high school teacher and his wife cracked the cipher
Ooh.
just in the kitchen one morning.
It's one of those things where if that was done nowadays, like 4chan would just do it in a
Mm.
day. If
Oh,
it'd be
yeah,
done
people would flock
immediately.
to like Reddit and
Yeah,
yeah. So the last 18 letters of the cipher couldn't be decoded, so it's everything else. So I will read
okay.
it to
Do tell.
you. It's a bit grim.
I'm sure it is.
I like killing people because it is so much fun.
Okay.
It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all. To kill something gives me the most thrilling experience. It is even better than getting your rocks off with a girl.
Getting your rocks off. That's
Yeah,
very 60s, lingo.
he's got away with words. The best part of it is that when I die, I will be reborn in my paradise, and they have killed will become my slaves. I will not give you my name because you will try to slow down or stop my collecting of slaves for my afterlife. And then it's like the 18 letters.
Alright, some religious undertone
Mm,
then.
yeah, a bit hippie-ish, a bit
Hippie.
Charles Manson.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
Um, so the police were obviously quite sad that it didn't have his identity.
Yeah.
And also, some people believe that you can rearrange the last 18 letters to spell Robert Emmett the hippie.
Robert Emmett the hippie.
Yeah, but
I
like,
mean, would you call yourself the hippie?
I don't know. I don't know. That was just a little tidbit, and I was
Yeah,
like,
okay,
okay.
Robert Emmett the hippie.
Yeah. So, like, suspect wise, we've got a watch company
The watch company.
and Robert Emmett.
Which I assume was no one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, Also, what I'm gonna do is I'll tell you the whole story, and then we'll go into suspects at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
So then, on September 27th, so this is about what, a month and a bit after,
Mhm.
college students Cecilia and Brian. Cecilia was 22 and Brian was 20.
Okay.
Were having a picnic at Lake Berryessa,
Okay.
near Napa in California.
Mhm.
And a man carrying a semi-automatic pistol, and he had like a hooded sort of costume on. He came up to them.
Bit of a Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Um, I believe it was white.
Oh,
Um, so I guess the opposite. He's like
bit
a
of a
angel.
oh, I was gonna say a bit of a clan Ku Klux Klan member, but sure.
Oh yeah, maybe. um, he said to the couple that he was an escaped convict from a Montana prison.
Oh, it's not a good opener, is it?
It's not. Where he killed a guard and stole a car. And so he asked them for money, and for their car so he could drive to Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Which I
That's
mean,
not that's not what I was thinking it was going.
if this is like, if this isn't the Zodiac killer,
Mhm.
um, this would be just really weird, like off chance encounter.
Well, we didn't kill him though, did he?
Well, the
Oh,
couple cooperated,
okay.
so with his demand. So they gave him the guy like gets his wallet out and he's like, "I've got money. Here you go. Here's the car keys." And they
Mhm.
kind of all like had a chat.
Okay.
Um, the man then instructed the girl to like hog tie the guy with some clothesline that he had.
Right.
He then tied her up as well, and he said, "I'm going to have to stab you, people."
Okay. Very, honest.
Yep. He then took out a long double-edged knife and he stabbed the guy Brian 6 times and the girl 10 times.
Right.
They
Even though
both
he had a
died.
gun.
Yeah, he had a gun, but he stabbed them. Whether or not the gun was loaded,
So,
we don't
already, one thing that stood out is
know.
that he's saying he's an escaped convict
Mhm.
and goes up to a couple. If you have a gun and you're an escaped convict, you just wave the gun and say, "Give me the car."
Yeah, that's the
You
thing. Why
you
would you
don't
make that up?
you don't tell him a story about where you come like, you don't just give him all your details, "I just killed a guard," and all
Mm,
that. And also, I'd like to think as those people, if someone told like, I'd know, "Okay, I know too much because he's told me all this. He's probably gonna kill me."
yeah.
So, like, I'd like to think I'd do something.
I mean,
Not
I
that there's much you can do.
yeah, I mean, I won't lie, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just go along with what he said because 'cause I'd be scared, you
You'd
know?
hog tie me.
I would hog tie you, and and then I'd let him hog tie me, and if he said, "I'm gonna stab you," I'd be like, I'd turn to you as we've got face down in our little blanket,
Mhm.
and I'd just be like, I messed up, I'm sorry."
And I'll be like, "Jack."
"Oh, Jack."
And I'll like, the credits roll, yeah.
Um, anyway, so they both died from the stab
Mhm.
wounds. He walked back to Brian's car and he drew a crossed circle symbol on the side of the car, and the dates of the attacks in Vallejo, so the other two murders.
Right, so he's saying it's me,
Yeah,
basically.
he's confirming that it was him.
Um, will you get to how we know this conversation happened?
Um, yeah.
Okay.
So a fisherman discovered the couple
Mhm.
and called the police.
As you do.
Yes. Um, it says here both victims were alive when he called the police,
Ah.
but it took over an hour for medical help to arrive. Um, she died. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I've read it wrong here. So she died 2 days
Okay.
later, and the
Oh,
guy survived
really?
and gave the police a detailed account of the events. So it says here, leaving the couple for dead, he walked back to Hartnell's car. So he thought he killed them.
He is
Again,
not a good killer, is he?
he always gets one though, at least.
I mean, so far he's pretty 50-50 on,
He
Like, how
is.
many is he? He's attacked 6 at this point, right? 6 people,
Yes, and he's
and
killed 4, and 2
mm,
have survived.
okay, eh, sure,
um, so I mean, it's obviously him because he drew the thing. So Hartnell, which is Brian, survived and told the police everything.
yeah,
And then at 7:40 p.m., an anonymous caller called the Napa County Police Department,
the
and
Napa.
Napa, yeah, which was where this happened,
Okay,
and spoke in a low monotone voice
mhm.
to an officer and said, "I want to report a murder. No, a double murder. They are 2 miles north of park headquarters. They were in a white Volkswagen Carmen Gia."
Okay,
Um, and then he ended the call by saying, "I'm the one who did it."
right. So
Um,
he's enjoying the chase.
yeah. So they traced the call like they did with the other one,
Yeah,
and it was just a phone booth that was blocks away from the department.
right.
Pardon me. Oh, I'm not used to all this talking.
You
I'm,
alright?
I'm,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
no.
used to listening. So then we move on to October 11th. So about a month later.
This is all happening quite compact now.
It is, yeah. Um, Obviously, in between all of these things, there's like officers trying to figure it out. There's
Yeah.
suspects, there's all this, which we'll get onto. So on
Mhm.
October 11th, we have a man called Paul Stein,
Paul.
was 29 at the time,
Okay.
and he was a cabbie.
Oh,
He was on his route one night, and he picked up a passenger in Union Square,
right.
and he drove all the way to the wealthy area of Cherry Street and Nob Hill.
Nob Hill.
Nob Hill, yeah,
Ooh, wanna
it's
live
a
in Nob
wealthy
Hill.
place. Nob Hill.
Yeah.
There, the passenger shot Stein in the temple,
Uh,
killing him dead.
I was just gonna killing him dead.
Yep, killing him dead.
Killing him alive.
He then stole the guy's wallet and car keys, and tore off quite a large bit of his shirt.
Okay.
Um,
That to me sounds like you wanna mess up the crime scene, but you didn't know what to do, so he's just like, "Oh, just gonna tear a bit, I guess."
yeah, well, he tore the shirt and it wasn't there anymore, like the bit that he'd torn, so he took it.
He took it. Oh, okay. I imagine he's gonna mail it or something.
Well, yeah. This event was witnessed by 3 youngsters
Mhm.
through a window of a second floor like house, which was just opposite the road.
Right.
So they rang the police,
Yeah.
um, and the kids described the shooter as a white male,
Mhm.
25 to 30
Okay.
years old, with a stocky build and a crew cut.
Ooh.
Police immediately launched a manhunt for him,
Yeah.
but for some reason, and I don't know if it's like something that maybe one of the kids said, and it was just lost in translation, but they were like putting out something for a blackmail.
Right. Um, it's either something of its time,
Yeah,
or nowadays as well.
yeah. I mean, now it's our
But
time. It's all time.
um, yeah. Okay.
It's either that or like someone's a dummy.
Yeah.
Um, I think from what I remember in the movie, because there's a movie adaptation of
Yeah.
all of these events, which I'll get you to watch. Um,
Mhm.
I think in the movie it's one of the kids, and they all say different things, so it's kind of confusing.
Right.
But that could just be fiction.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, so because they said that they described a black male as the person they were looking for. Um, about a few blocks from the shooting, a police officer is in his car and he's driving around and he goes past a guy who looks a bit fishy, but
Yeah.
he thinks nothing of it
I
because
think this is the story I know.
yeah, he thinks nothing of it because he he's not looking for him. He's looking for a black guy,
Yeah.
as far as he's aware. And then once he found out the truth of what they were looking for, actually, he realized like the person that he saw was pretty much what
I
they
d
actually described.
that is so annoying.
Yeah. However, but because he made that mistake, he couldn't go back and find him and consider him to be a suspect.
Right.
So, 3 days later, the Chronicle, which was one of the three newspaper
Publishers?
publishers. Why do I keep forgetting publishers? They got another letter from the Zodiac,
Mhm.
and in that letter was a piece of the shirt that was full of blood.
Of course.
The writer referred to the Stein murder, saying that the police didn't search the area properly, and he pointed to his next victims, which was going to be school children,
Ooh.
according to him, anyway.
So so far, again, going back to serial killers, just
Hmm.
in general, because he's already said he enjoys killing.
Yes.
He doesn't seem to savor it
No,
like a
he kind
serial.
of like does it haphazardly and kind of sort of botches it and kind of gets out of there and then
Yeah,
claims all this credit.
the fact that most of the time they're still alive means he doesn't even, like, watch them die, he just
I guess he
s
just likes the thrill of doing it and then like running away.
I feel like the thrill is all in the chase,
Yeah.
and he realizes the only way he's gonna keep doing that is if he stabs and then runs, pretty much.
Mm. So I mean, like, it's not like obviously nothing to do with murder is normal, but
Yes.
within that world, this isn't like a normal way to do this.
Yeah. This is a way that leaves, like, no clues, really,
Yeah,
it's purely random.
yeah. I mean, it's all taking place in California, which
Yeah.
makes sense because like California is a bloody big place.
It's just full of them.
um, so then he obviously said that he was maybe going to do something with kids.
Okay.
And then about a week and a bit after, they got a phone call.
Mhm.
The Auckland Police Department got a phone call, and it was the Zodiac, apparently.
Apparently.
That's the other thing. Like, there's kind of we'll get to it more at the end, but there's obviously this thing of is it a person? Is it a bunch of people? Is it like was it one person to begin with, and then like someone decided they wanted to, take that mantle and stuff? Like,
It's an idea.
I'm an idea. Like there's so many different things that like someone rings up, they're like, "Oh, I'm the Zodiac." Like it could not be him. The only times we know it's him is when he's provided that evidence.
Yeah, I guess it's like, I wanna throw the suspicion off me, so I'm gonna say it's this Zodiac guy who they've already, like, profiled.
Yeah, yeah. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, because like they've published the letters and stuff.
Yeah, and they've got an idea that it's, like, this fat kind of fat white man.
Stocky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so if you're not that, you just say, "Oh, I'm the Zodiac killer," and they're not looking for me.
yeah, exactly. So anyway, a call identified himself as the Zodiac.
Okay.
Called the Auckland Police Department,
Mhm.
and he demanded that he had on-air time with a television talk show host called F. Lee Bailey. Hold on, yeah, F. Lee Bailey or Melvin Belly and their defense lawyers, and
I
it was
I
the Jim Dunbar show.
I'm kinda picturing Joker here now.
Yeah, so he wanted to be like on the show on the Jim Dunbar show,
Mm.
um, and he wanted lawyers there.
So like, not his voice, him on
No,
the show.
well, it was his voice. He didn't wanna, like, obviously pop up. It was just he was
Oh.
gonna phone in.
Oh, that's a shame. I was hoping he actually wanted to go to the show.
No, no, no. That would have been crazy, though.
Yeah.
Um, so one of the, lawyers went onto the show,
Mhm.
and then a call came in.
Oh.
Um, it was The guy on the phone said it was the Zodiac.
Is this live?
This is like live being televised.
Okay.
The guy on the phone said he was Zodiac. They had a bit of a conversation, and he ended up getting out of him that he said his real name was Sam,
Right.
and he asked that Belly, who was one of the defense lawyers, meet him in Dolly City.
Ooh.
So the guy agreed, but the caller never showed up.
Right.
So he went to meet him, and he just never showed up.
Yeah.
And then it was later determined that the call came from an imposter.
I was gonna say, I don't think the Zodiac killer would call himself Sam.
Yeah, exactly. And that imposter was a mental patient at the Napa State Hospital.
So this is where things get even more confusing because the idea that it's multiple people
Yeah, exactly.
suddenly becoming a thing.
Like that's the thing that they don't know like anything really about the Zodiac killer other than they think he's a white guy that's stocky and 5'8", and
Yeah.
he calls himself the Zodiac killer. So like on the phone, anyone could ring up and just
Yeah.
say, "Hey, I'm the Zodiac killer. How you doing? You know, I killed a guy, whatever."
Yeah.
Um Also, the like conversation that they had was really weird. Like the fact that it was a mental patient kind of gives you an idea, but it was very like, "Oh, I'm hearing voices. The voices tell me things," you know.
Right. And what is that on YouTube?
I'm not sure actually. It could be. We'll have a look.
Yeah.
Um, so then, about couple of weeks later, on November 8th,
Mhm.
the Chronicle got another letter from the Zodiac, and then they also got one the day after as well, immediately after.
Okay.
So the first one was a 340 character cipher.
Jesus.
I know, it's a lot. And the second one included another piece of the guy's shirt, the cabbie's shirt.
Okay. He's sort of running out of materials here.
He is, yeah.
But
He's
it's still
done.
proof it's him.
Yeah. He also included a 7-page letter
Ooh.
claiming that the police had stopped and talked with him 3 minutes after he shot Stein.
Right. I
Um,
I wonder
and
if that goes with that guy who thought he saw
yeah,
him.
yeah, I reckon it probably does. And he also had like a schematic drawing of his death machine, which was made to blow up large objects such as buses.
Bushes.
Bushes.
His death
Um,
machine.
yeah,
It's
that's what he called it.
it's just a bomb.
It's
That's what
just a
he's
big
just
bomb.
okay.
So obviously, like the thing with the buses, um, he mentioned the school kids and stuff.
Right.
So that's a bit, suspect.
Yeah.
And then on December 20th,
Mhm.
Belly, who was one of the lawyers that was on the show,
Yeah.
that the guy called the like fake guy called in,
Right.
received a Christmas card from the Zodiac.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm imagining like festive, like he's got like a little Santa on the front of the card.
Yeah. Little
Lovely.
ho 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 on it.
Yeah, but it's like a Santa with a gun, and it just says blah blah blah.
It's like when those like pop-up books, so you open it up and like a little knife
Yeah,
comes out.
yeah. Um, so the Christmas card, it went to his home address as well, by the way.
Ooh, I'd hate that.
Yeah. It had another piece of the shirt,
Okay.
and the letter that came with it claimed that he wanted help from this lawyer, ending with the sentence, "Please help me. I cannot remain in control for much longer."
So, what's up with this lawyer? Are
Um, I
are there theories around why this is the lawyer they all want to go to?
I'm not sure. I mean, the only thing that it says is, well, the only thing that I've been able to find that it says is that the guy, like Zodiac, just asked for him, um, and so he was on it, and then because he said yes to like meeting him and stuff, well, to meeting this other guy,
He's
I guess he
willing
like
already.
trusts him, yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, he's clearly a bit deluded, and so he's like sending him a Christmas card. He's a bit like, "Oh, we're friends,"
Right.
Can you
Like,
help me? It's like a
so
cry for help.
what did it say at the end? I'm not in control.
Please help me. I cannot remain in control for much longer.
Here's the thing. I don't think serial killers like admitting defeat ever.
Hmm.
So something seems a bit off to
It
me.
it says here that the lawyer guy attempted to get the Zodiac to contact him again, but nothing happened.
Right.
And some speculate that the card was written during a moment of clarity from the Zodiac, while others believe it was another attention-getting hoax.
That's what I'm not a hoax. I think it was him because of the shirt. Although
Oh well, yeah, it
technically,
has to be.
well, was it the shirt? Like, was the blood test
I
done?
assume it was because it says it was another piece of Stein's shirt.
Okay. So it is him.
Hmm.
I reckon he's just enjoying messing with people.
See, I think at this point he probably the fact that he like sent him a Christmas card and stuff. I don't know. I'm a bit like maybe he realized he's messed up for like a day or an hour, and he like reaches out in this weird cry for help.
Yeah, it's
The
just
one guy that maybe he thinks will give him some sympathy.
yeah, the only thing is that because he sent it straight to his house, it is that sort of like, "I know where you live, like, I can do what I
Yeah,
want"
yeah,
type thing.
it's aggressive.
Yeah.
So then so now we're going a little bit in the future. So March 22nd of 1970. So a good few months after.
Okay, so he's not a compulsive killer
No,
yet, at least.
well,
Well, as in,
it
either
just,
he's
it just
spending age
keeps happening.
he either spends ages planning it,
Mm,
or he's able to go a long time without thinking about it, and then one evening is like, "Alright,
yeah,
let's go."
I very much doubt he spent a lot of time planning it, going off like what actually happens and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like if he planned it all and then he botches it and doesn't even realize that he's botched it,
Yeah, true.
yeah, multiple times as well. I mean,
Yeah.
he must plan it a little bit because he knew where the girl lived on the second killing because he phoned from like near a house, unless that was
Right.
accidental, I suppose.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, California's big, but still, like
Mm. Um, so I mean, I think probably he plans it a little bit, but he's just an idiot.
well, that we can agree on.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, March 22nd. Not sure what time it was. It just says evening.
Okay.
1970. Kathleen Johns, who at the time was 8 months pregnant,
Mhm.
was driving to meet her mother.
Yep.
She also had a 10-month-old daughter in the backseat of a car.
Alright, I'm not liking where this is going.
Yeah. Um, while on the highway, she pulled over. A driver like flashed his lights behind her to say like to indicate that something was wrong with the car.
Oh, okay.
So she pulls over and the car behind her pulls over.
Oh, okay.
And the guy comes over to the window and is like, "Oh, hey, I noticed your back wheel was wobbling.
Right.
So I didn't want you to crash." Like, he said that he had a thing so he could tighten the bolts.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so she was like, "Yeah, okay, thank you." He goes to his truck, gets the thing, uh, tightens the bolts.
Oh, he actually does have it.
Well, yeah, he had the thing.
Yeah, okay.
Tightens the bolts, and
Yeah.
then um, gets in his car and drives off.
Okay.
Now,
Did he untighten them or something?
yes.
Okay.
So she pulls out to
Mhm.
start driving, and her wheel just falls off.
Alright.
And the man that drove off in the car wasn't that far ahead, so he starts reversing, seeing this,
Yeah.
and offers to ride the girl to a gas station. So I think at
She
this point,
you deny immediately.
I don't know what I'd do because
You
I'm on the side of a highway. I can't drive. I've got a
obviously no
10-month-old
mobile
baby.
phones.
Yeah, no phones. Like this guy is being really weird because he kind of wants to help, but then loosens the wheels, but then is also offering kind of to help.
No, to me, it would be so obvious he just the wheel that I felt was fine while driving,
Mm.
now he's tinkered with it, suddenly falls off.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I don't know, yeah.
I mean that yeah, I mean it's obvious that he loosened it, but
Yeah.
it's just such a weird way. This is what I mean, it's just such an odd way of going about it. Um,
'Cause he coulda just done it there and then went on with
yeah.
his day.
Anyway, so she obviously says yes because she doesn't know what to do.
Um, really?
Yes. Gets in the car with him and her baby,
Okay,
and they drive for a while, and he's not stopping at any gas stations that they go past.
of course.
They drive for over 3 hours.
Hold at what point do you, like, just punch him in the head or something? 3 hours?
Yeah.
He had to have him tied up or something, right?
No, she was just, like, there in the car with her baby.
I wonder what
I
his
think it was
excuse
like
was
a
then.
a truck, but yeah.
But, like, everyone you pass, you're like, "Oh, well, why didn't we go to that one?"
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. She said that so she survived,
Okay.
and she describes the 3 hours as silent and aimless, just sort of driving about.
So did she give him a direction?
Um, no, I mean, I think he just kind of drove, like, up forward, and then
Right.
just kind of went wherever he wanted, past, like, a lot of stations and stuff, and she was just like, "What is going on?" Um, she ended up escaping with her child, because the guy stopped at, like, an intersection. So she, like, runs out of the car with her kid,
Okay, finally, after the 3-hour
after
mark,
3 hours, yeah.
I don't think this guy's telling the truth.
You know what? I think this guy loosened my nuts. So she ran across a field and, like, hid
Okay.
until she knew that he'd gone.
Yeah.
And then, like, a passerby stopped and saw her, so he took her to, the police.
She trusted him and went in a new car. Okay.
And while she was at the police department, she saw a wanted poster for a sketch of the Zodiac,
Okay.
and she said that that was the guy that kidnapped me.
That's a good sketch.
Yeah, I can send you the sketch actually.
Alright.
Zodiac.
I might recognize it.
It's quite a famous one, yeah.
Yeah, I think I can picture it. Alright. He's not what I expected,
Hmm.
but already okay, so if this is him, it's very strange, the whole thing.
Yeah. So, it also says that her car was then later found, and it had been like gutted and burned and just torn apart.
Oh. So he spent, like, another 3 hours going back.
Yeah, going back. Well, I mean, it doesn't say that they drove 3 hours away. It just says they drove for 3 hours, so he could have just been going in circles and
Right.
stuff. So yeah, so she was like, "That is him,"
Mhm.
and so then um, that was that. She weirdly, her over the years, like she's her version of the story's kind of changed a little bit. So
Right.
some people are a bit like are questioning it a little.
So did she burn her own car?
I mean,
It
probably not. It's just I
yeah,
think she probably told it how it happened, obviously originally,
right.
and now that she's a kind of probably a part of this like Zodiac thing, she might just change it to make it more believable for that or less believable for that.
Make money off it or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the 3 hours driving,
Yeah.
it's almost like he's debating it, kind
Yeah. Like he could have just done it when he stopped her originally, and
because
then
we
he could have
know
done it as soon as she got in the car.
he's used to going on a, like, kind of open road, killing people, then driving off. So the idea that in the evening on this road, that he would have just shot him up and left.
If I had to guess, I think it's probably the baby and the fact that she was pregnant.
Oh, it sort of threw a
Yeah.
span into the works.
Because everyone else that that he's killed has been quite young, apart from the taxi guy.
And he did threaten kids, but didn't go through with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
So I mean, that's what I think.
right.
Um, that was the last time anyone's reported actually seeing
Huh.
the Zodiac.
Okay.
Um, so on October 27th, so again a few months later now,
Yeah.
Paul Avery, who had been working on this case at the Chronicle, he was the reporter at the Chronicle, one of.
Right.
He'd been working on it the whole time, and he, had his own opinions and stuff. I think he was involved a little bit in the TV thing that they did.
Okay.
He received a Halloween card.
Hold up. What's a Halloween card?
I mean, I
Never,
guess a pumpkin.
I've never had a Halloween card.
I don't think I don't. Yeah, I don't know if that's like a thing of the past.
It was
Getting cards
American
for
thing?
Halloween. I don't know. Is it? If there's any American people listening, do you send cards on Halloween?
Yeah.
Because I'd like to know.
Hmm. It was like
So
a little ghost that said
yeah, a little
boo
ghost
on.
card.
Yeah.
And inside the card there was a threat on his life.
Oh, okay.
Um, the letter was then put on the front page of the Chronicle, like the card.
Right.
Um, and then there were a few days after, Paul Avery got another letter urging him to investigate the similarities between the Zodiac murders and the murder of a college teen student, Cherry Joe Bates, that was a few years earlier.
So, okay, so there's this reporter who gets a letter from Zodiac threatening him.
Mhm.
And the reporter's like, I'm just going to publish this.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, he's a reporter. It makes good
Yeah.
news.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Like, I'm surprised that didn't sort of tick off the Zodiac. Well,
Yeah, neither do I. Because like,
it
well, I
shows
don't
you're not
know.
taking it seriously.
Yeah, but also Zodiac likes his public. He likes his
Yeah,
publicity, doesn't he?
true.
So maybe he just likes that he's in the limelight again a bit,
Yeah.
and people fear him. You know.
But now he's, instead of just claiming to kill someone, he's like, oh, maybe you should check this out.
Yeah, yeah. So he's like, you know that girl that died a few years ago? Maybe you should cross-reference some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they did that.
Yeah.
And the story of this girl is that in 1966, in
Mm-hmm. Oh,
October, so this is about a year, I think, before the first official.
two.
Was it two?
68 was,
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, sorry. She was 18 and she'd studied at Riverside College Library
right.
that night, and it closed at 9 p.m. It says investigators suspect that her Volkswagen parked outside the library was tampered with before she left.
Right.
When she tried to start the car, the person police believed had disabled it approached it and offered his help.
The wheel fell off.
The nuts were loose, and they went on a 3-hour drive. So it says somehow he lured her into a secluded driveway between two empty houses,
Somehow.
where
Yeah.
police believe the two sat for an hour and a half.
Right.
The man,
So,
the man then later attacks the girl,
okay.
beats her,
Okay.
cuts her face, and cuts at her 11 times, 7 of which nearly like decapitated her.
Right. So, he offered to help her,
Hmm.
and they somehow ended up just chatting, I guess.
Yeah, so he offered to help her, took her in between a couple of houses in like an alley, and
Right.
sort of chatted with her for an hour and a half,
Okay.
and then beat her up and cut her up.
I mean, if he was like a charming man, then
Mm,
I guess she could be like, oh, okay, this
going off the
guy's.
sketch and the descriptions, I mean,
I know, he doesn't look too.
that doesn't scream charming to me. If it was like Ted Bundy, this sounds like a Ted Bundy.
Well, if we get onto Ted Bundy, he wasn't actually that good looking. He was very average.
I only know that he was meant to be good looking.
Yeah, everyone says that. He really wasn't.
Okay, okay.
It's weird.
The fact that Zac Efron plays him says a lot.
Yeah, but
Uh,
th-
so yeah,
so the second murderers, the guys on the road who he stopped and just shot,
yeah,
was that a couple? Were there women with it?
yeah. So the first one was a guy and a girl.
Mhm.
The second one was a guy and a girl.
Okay.
Um, and then the third one was the taxi guy.
Okay.
Um, and then I think the
It was
one after
gonna be
that
the one.
was, yeah, gonna be the woman with her kid. And now it's
Mm,
just now we're going back and saying
yeah.
this might be the first one.
I guess the taxi man done I was gonna say it's sort of a, women don't wanna be with me
Mm,
type like, he tried chatting with her for an hour, she resisted,
mhm.
and he was like, "Women don't like me," and cut him up, and
Yeah,
then
and then
started
maybe
going
he
for
had
couples.
yeah, maybe he had a vendetta against couples because they shouldn't be in love and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so clues were found at the scene of this case,
Mhm.
and obviously no one had made the the connection
Yeah.
because
It's just an
it's
old
just
case.
another yeah, it's just an old case. There was a size 10 heel print,
Okay.
a Timex watch displaying the time 12:23.
So, that wasn't like one of the you said a Zodiac was a watch company, it wasn't one of them?
No,
Ah, damn. That would've
but
been
that
great.
would have been like amazing, wouldn't it? Um, they found fingerprints, a palm print, skin tissue underneath the girl's fingernails, and hair and blood in her hands.
So she fought him.
Yeah, she probably tried to save herself a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, since that kind of doesn't really go anywhere.
So the fingerprints don't lead to someone.
Well, we'll get onto that.
Okay.
Uh, so at this point, I think like from what I've seen, every kind of his life continues. Everyone's life continues. They don't really hear a lot from the Zodiac for a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, I think Avery leaves the Chronicle to do whatever else with his life,
Right.
and everyone kind of just moves on until
Mhm.
um, about 3 years later.
Ooh.
So the Zodiac has been silent this whole time.
Okay.
Um, the Chronicle gets a letter from the Zodiac,
Ooh.
and this is to be the last letter received.
Okay.
So it's dated January 29th, 74. And the letter basically says it includes him praising The Exorcist, the film.
Okay.
It's the best satirical comedy that I've ever seen.
Right.
And it included a snippet of verse from the Mikado, which is an unusual symbol at the bottom. Oh, and an unusual symbol at the bottom, which no one knows what it is still.
Okay.
Um,
Wait, what's the verse?
so the verse is an opera,
Right.
which is it's not really like popular, but I guess people try to look into that as maybe like it was how does he know about it? You know,
Yeah.
he likes opera, I guess. Um, yeah, so the symbol at the bottom still no one it's remained unexplained. No one knows what it meant.
Can I see it?
I can try and find it for you.
Yeah.
Zodiac.
So, is this a we assume it's him or we
I
know
mean,
it's him?
yeah, there's no proof.
Right.
There's also, as you see at the bottom of that picture, a little tally. So it says me
Uh, yeah.
37 and then SFPD 0.
So San Francisco Police
Yeah, police
Department.
department.
Right. So hinting that he's killed 37.
Yeah, so this is then when there's this whole other thing of there's a bunch of murders which are kind of alluded to him maybe have doing, but there's like no confirmation.
Right. So I guess if you sort of added them up,
Yeah,
it
it
would
would
be
be
that sort of number.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, so that was his last letter,
Right.
and from then till now, nothing Zodiac wise.
Okay.
So who is this person, Ben?
Who is he? Well, the news report thing. No, not the new. The
TV show.
like talk
Yeah.
show guy. He threw he threw a spanner into the works
Mhm.
because he's bringing this idea that other people are posing as the Zodiac.
Mhm.
I mean, it's also weird that for 3 years he just went silent.
It is, yeah.
If it's like his thing was to publicize it.
Mhm.
Um, and also, because I was gonna say, if it was like 3 years of him not doing anything,
Yeah.
like he wasn't killing anyone, that definitely doesn't go with his like craving
Yeah, exactly.
for murder. So if he's still out there and he is a serial killer craving murder, then yeah, sure, he probably is still going at it.
Mm.
Okay, but in terms of who, no idea. It's the watch company.
um so obviously during the whole so this has spanned like what? How many years?
Well, if you count the 66 one,
Yes.
then it's like
66 to 74.
so that's 8 years.
Yeah, with a 3 years like silent basically at the end.
Right.
Um, through this time, obviously they got guys in who were like handwriting experts to try and figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
And that is also a thing where they would match up letters that they get in to confirm that it was him and stuff.
So they think it is him.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Um, so this letter is the same handwriting as like a lot of the others that are confirmed.
Okay.
Um, there's also a bunch of letters that they got after that, which have been confirmed not to be of him.
Oh, why? Who's
Yeah.
doing that?
Um, I guess just people have like I don't know. People want a piece of it.
Oh, it's a time before the internet. They didn't have anything
Yeah, true.
mess with troll people on.
So basically, I'm going to talk to you about a man now,
Oh man.
and he's a man called Arthur Lee Allen. Now, in the movie, there's a man called Robert Graysmith, and he was a real man.
Okay.
And he is played by Jake Gyllenhaal, and he wrote a book about all of this,
I like him already.
called Zodiac,
Yeah.
and it just gives all the information, everything you need. In that book, he makes a point of Arthur Lee Allen, and he basically says that he's a potential suspect because of all of this evidence that he has,
Mm-hmm.
that he's kind of collected, looking into all of it.
Yeah.
So, going back to the early days of the Zodiac investigations, Arthur Lee Allen was interviewed by police,
Okay.
and he was the subject of several search warrants over a 20-year period.
Wait, he was interviewed by police. What for?
Um, I'm not too sure. I think maybe his name will have popped up. Um, I think he fits the description as well.
Right. So they're just like, okay, we've got this guy
Yeah.
who's like already been in trouble before.
Yeah, he seems a bit dodge. He kind of fits the description.
Bring him in. Okay.
We'll go talk to him. So on October 6th, 1969, he was interviewed by a detective John Lynch of the Vallejo Police Department, and he had reportedly been in the vicinity of the lake that the couple was near.
Yeah.
Which I guess maybe was one of the other reasons why they interviewed him.
Yeah.
He said that he was scuba diving on the day of that attack,
Okay.
and that was that.
I mean, they're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean they have no evidence against him.
Right. How do people just go scuba diving? Like, just casually? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not a scuba diver
I guess
enthusiast.
in California, yeah.
I'm sure if you like scuba diving, you do.
Yeah.
um, so then that was that. And then in 1971, a couple of years later,
Yeah.
he came to the police's attention again
Mhm.
when his friend reported to the police. His friend called Donald
Donald.
rang the police and was like, I think I know who it is,
Oh
who the
boy.
Zodiac is. So
Uh-huh.
the police go around his house and they're like, talk to us.
Yeah.
He says that he thinks it's Arthur Lee Allen, who is his friend.
Uh-huh.
And I think he used to work with him.
Okay.
And he said that one night, um, him and Arthur were chilling one night and they had a conversation.
And he started unscrewing the tires on the on the car.
He told me how much he loves like car nuts, and I just thought, what a weirdo. Um, so he says allegedly that Arthur Lee Allen spoke to him about his desire to kill people.
Okay.
Um, and he specifically said the word Zodiac to
Right.
Donald.
Okay.
Um, and that and that he wanted to secure a flashlight.
What? He just wanted a
He
flashlight.
wanted a flashlight so that he could use it on his gun, so he could see.
Right, so he's on about murder, and he's like, "By the way, I want to get a flashlight for my gun."
Yeah.
Okay.
According to Donald, this conversation occurred no later than January 1st, 1969,
And that
which
was
that
how
was
long after
after I think it was after the second one.
the second killings?
So it's way before the alleged first one, where he's
Yeah.
like, "This was me," maybe as well.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, bit fishy. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's such an odd thing to call the police about anyway. And just be like, "Oh yeah, we had a conversation, and he said that you wanted to kill some guys." I don't know.
Well, you'd have that to me says like he was pretty sure, because
That it was him.
to bother the police is basically saying like, you know how you know someone for a while, and it's like,
Mm,
look, I know I don't. It doesn't sound like I have much to go off of, but I just
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
sort of that thing.
Um, so they kind of looked into him a little bit more.
Okay.
Um, I believe they searched his house again, but didn't find anything.
Right.
um, and what they found was that he was in the Navy in 1958, Arthur.
Okay.
But he got discharged. Um, it says that he received an other than honorable discharge.
Right. So it was nuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he also was fired from his job as an elementary school teacher in 1968
Oh no.
after allegations of sexual misconduct with students.
Okay.
He was described by people that knew him as fixated on young children and angry at women.
That's just never a good description for yourself, was it?
There's two really
Fixated.
bad
Like,
ones.
did they not, instead of being called a pedophile, it's just he was
Yeah,
fixated on children.
yeah. And he
Okay.
just he's very angry at women. It also states here that he apparently never had a girlfriend or a wife, which does not surprise me.
It's not looking good, Arthur.
So then in 1972,
Mhm.
they got a search warrant again for his house.
Okay.
And in 1974, 2 years later, he was arrested for committing lewd sex acts upon a 12-year-old boy, to which he pleaded guilty and served 2 years imprisonment.
Really?
Yeah,
That's weird. During these 2 years, there were no murders.
I know.
Wait,
um,
was it actually the 2 years? Or, like,
yeah,
in the right. So, within the 3 years where it went silent, 2 of those, this guy happened to be in jail.
in jail, yeah.
Okay.
So in 1991, in February, they got
And
another search warrant for his house.
and the fact he's not confirmed to be the Zodiac killer, I'm waiting for you to say something that
Mm,
messes
that
this up.
throws it off, yeah.
Yeah.
So they got another search warrant in 1991,
Okay.
and I don't think they found anything again.
Right.
And then just before they were like scheduled to have a talk with him,
Again.
yeah, he died of a heart attack.
Oh,
So that was
okay.
in 1992 that he died.
Wait, so they just left him until 92?
Yeah.
Right.
So the reason, so like at this point,
Mm.
it's him.
I mean, yeah, if you ask me who I think it is, it's
Yeah.
100% him.
Another thing is that when they searched what his house one of the times,
Yeah.
they found a typewriter which was like of a specific brand,
Yeah.
and when they looked at some of the letters, it looked like it was typed from that typewriter.
Oh, just like Heavy Rain.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder, could have they've looked at what guns he owns and see if, like, the bullets, like, fit the ones that were used to kill?
I don't know if that was about then.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that was a thing, I'm pretty sure.
okay. I
I
mean,
know.
they didn't.
Maybe they just didn't have enough to go off of to do that.
Yeah, true. Um, he lived in Vallejo,
Right.
and he worked minutes away from where one of the victims lived,
Right.
which I believe is the girl when he phoned and he lived close, and he phoned close to her from the pay booth.
So that was the first girl.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay.
Now, when they searched his house after he died,
Uh-huh.
they obviously found the typewriter, which kind of matched.
Right.
They also found another thing.
Right.
Can you guess what it is?
Was it the shirt?
No,
Was it
um, it's not like a thing like that. It's not something that's confirmed. Like
so
it's you.
it's not like the symbol of the Zodiac, like, scribbled on his fridge?
No, but you're kind of close.
Zodiac watch?
Yeah, he owned a watch which was the Zodiac brand.
So he was coming up with a name, and he's looking around the room like, "Oh, what do I go with?" And he just looked at his watch. He's like, "Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Um. So yeah, that's that.
That's that."
However,
Mhm.
spanner incoming in 2002. The San Francisco Police Department developed a partial DNA profile from the saliva. Sorry,
Okay.
my bloody throat's going. Saliva from the stamp on one of the envelopes from the letters.
So he licked it.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
and that the DNA was partial DNA of Arthur Lee Allen.
Right.
However, since then they've done DNA tests of like everything.
Mhm.
Um, it was a DNA test of that. It was only like partial Arthur Lee Allen. It also came out with Don Cheney, who was a friend to Allen, who also could have been the Zodiac killer.
So these were, like, the letters they're all testing here.
Yeah, yeah. So they like looked at the stamps, like the
They
saliva on the stamps.
they joint licked. They both licked one end.
However, because none of them came out as a match and it was only a partial, they couldn't do anything, and so they just like excluded them as part of it,
I I mean, I don't
which
get
doesn't make
DNA stuff.
sense.
Yeah.
This is the biggest thing to throw you off. So
Alright.
Lloyd Cunningham, who was a handwriting expert,
Mhm.
he'd worked on the Zodiac case for decades
Okay.
since it started, like all the way.
Yeah.
And he said that they gave me bananas.
Bananas.
They
They
gave
gave me
me
bananas.
bananas. You just love bananas. He went mad for them.
I
He
want
went, "Here,
letters,
look
damn
at
it.
this sweater." He went, "No, give me banana." They gave me banana boxes full of Alan's writing, and none of his writing even came close to the Zodiac. Nor did DNA extracted from the envelopes on the letters, so instead of the lamps on the actual envelope,
Mhm.
come close to Arthur Lee Allen.
What about Dom or Don? What was it?
Don Cheney.
Don.
Yeah, Donna. Um,
Yeah, what about Don? His
I don't think it
handwriting.
was him as well. It didn't come up with him as well. But I don't know if they checked that.
Okay.
I don't know if they checked that.
Yeah, that's what I would have done if part of his
Mm, yeah, partial.
DNA.
Yeah, so that it just kind of came up as like there's a lot of inconclusive evidence that it could be him, but all the stuff which would be conclusive isn't.
Thing is, again, I don't know how DNA works, but does
Mm,
years of touching letters
probably, yeah.
like mess up stuff?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Uh,
It's
it
it's so annoying because you have
so
all these things which allude to it. I mean, the
here
fact that he had the watch, you know.
here's where I'm at. Alan,
Hmm.
it's absolutely him.
Okay.
The question to me is, was he alone or was it multiple people?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what it is for me.
Hmm. I completely agree.
The only weird thing is that the murders don't suggest multiple people.
Mm,
What it suggests is the same person killing them, so
yeah.
Alan, but then it's the different people helping him write, create the character, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Because it didn't seem like a different person was out there killing.
No, it just seemed like one guy just trying to fumble his way through it.
Yeah.
I agree. However, we are looking at all of this through this book that
Mm.
Robert Graysmith wrote, where he like gives he really pushes that it's this guy.
Okay.
So it's slightly biased. However, like you cannot deny that it looks real bad for
It
him.
it does look bad. Are there any
Um,
other suspects?
well, I mean, I've got a whole list of things here.
Okay.
I'll sort of speed through them.
Yeah, start going out.
In 2007, a man named Dennis Kaufman claimed that his stepfather was the Zodiac.
Okay.
He gave the FBI a hood that's similar to one that the Zodiac wore, apparently.
Uh-huh.
But they checked DNA and it came out inconclusive.
Right, okay, great.
Um, in 2009, someone that used to be a lawyer called Robert said that in the 1970s, a merchant mariner walked into his office and confessed to him that he was the Zodiac killer.
Okay.
Um, the man said that he was trying to stop himself from his opportunistic murder spree, but never returned to see the guy again. So he just went in there once, was
Told
like,
him
"Okay, I'm the guy." And
I
that was
mean, so this is a good few years after it's become, like, a big thing.
mm,
It so far sounds like people chasing for
yeah.
popularity or money or whatever.
The guy that used to be the lawyer that he told that
Yeah.
Zodiac potentially told this guy all this stuff.
Yeah.
He then later claimed um, the reason that he did it was to clear the name of Arthur Lee Allen.
He did
Just
what?
the reason that he said that this guy came in to talk to me about it and said that he was the Zodiac was because he
Right.
wanted to clear Arthur Lee Allen for some reason.
Okay.
Um, and that was the only reason that he revealed it, 30 years after
Right.
it apparently happened. Robert Graysmith said that it's entirely plausible. So, like, who knows? In 2009, the History Channel made a
Yeah.
show called Mystery Quest,
Cool.
and
Alright.
one of the episodes was about this.
Yeah.
They looked at newspaper editor Richard Gajkowski.
Uh-huh.
Gajkowski. His appearance looks like the guy in the sketch,
Okay.
and Nancy Slover, who was the Vallejo police dispatcher who was contacted by the Zodiac shortly after one of the attacks,
Yeah.
has identified a recording of this guy's voice being the same as the Zodiac's.
Right. How many years later? Like, quite a
2009.
so she's going off of what she thought the voice was.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also another one, which was an unknown man that apparently wasn't any of them, and some woman was like, "It's him" for some reason, and she was just like, she kind of had followed it a lot and stuff, and she was just guessing, I guess.
She just found this name of a
Yeah.
guy and was like, "Yeah, sure."
They also think the Zodiac is also someone called the Monster of Florence,
Ooh.
who is a serial killer in Italy.
In Italy.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. That's literally all it says.
Okay.
Um, a Unabomber called Ted was once thought to be him. Like, there's just so many, dude.
But all of this is quite recent.
Yeah, all of it's quite recent, and all of it is like
This what's his name? Alan?
Arthur Lee Allen.
Arthur?
Lee is spelled Leigh.
Arthur Lee Allen.
Get a picture of him.
Let's see him. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
I mean, I see it.
with less weight,
Mm.
definitely.
They said stocky.
They said stocky. I don't know why the drawing ain't got much stock to it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I can definitely see it.
So, like, the fact that obviously he died and we'll never know if it was him.
Right.
And then there was also like, because if it wasn't him,
Mhm.
this guy is potentially just like still just kind of kicking. You know,
Yeah.
he could be still killing people. You know, as whoever else.
So yeah,
And I think the thing that like hooked me into like this whole thing was the fact that they never found out who it was, and
of course.
even though it strongly suggests that it's Arthur Lee Allen, and there's quite a bit of evidence for and it and a bit against it, it's like you just don't know.
Yeah, like all the stuff with Arthur,
Mm,
if you take all the suspicious parts on their own, it's
yes,
not much. But when
yeah,
there's just so many little suspicions together, it's yeah, I
it's
get it.
bad. Yeah,
What happened to Don? I wonder.
nothing.
Nothing? Don
No,
just
they didn't look into him. He just carried on living his life.
really? He
Yeah.
must be still alive, right?
What was his name? Don Cheney. Here we go. Yeah. So he met Arthur Lee Allen in 1962.
Uh-huh.
Uh, had a bit of a friendship with him. This guy on this website interviewed him in 2000, and he asked if he thinks it was Arthur, and the guy said yeah. But like, if it was him, obviously he's just passing the blame.
So yeah, if he helped, he's either like, all right, I'm gonna go behind his back and
Mm,
put all the blame on him. Or I mean, the DNA of Don on the letter,
yeah.
there's because it was just the envelope, right?
That the DNA his came from, I think, was the stamp.
The stamp. It's like it's plausible that Don bought him some stamps,
Yeah, true.
something like that.
The thing, it really annoys me because I just want to know.
Yeah, I hate unsolved mysteries, but
Yeah.
this one is definitely going to be unsolved unless,
Oh yeah.
well, especially if it was Alan,
Yeah.
Arthur. Sorry,
In my head, it was Arthur, and we'll never get like that.
the justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious if any like modern books really closely follow Arthur's life
Mm,
up to his death.
mm.
Like, what else suspicious did he do?
Yeah, true. Possibly. I mean, that's the thing. You'd like they make a point of it in the film, uh,
Yeah.
like at the time, and obviously, I think still now. The way that the laws are and everything
Mm,
is you can't just like because you suspect this one guy, you can't just follow him around all day and whatever.
yeah.
Like it's very like you need hard evidence and then we can do something about it.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's the annoying thing with this is that they had everything but the like one thing that they needed.
Yeah.
uh, And it's
Well,
crazy.
it's the letter. The final letter is just weird, isn't it?
Mm.
It's not it's not anything.
No, it's just oh yeah, I liked The Exorcist.
So it's, if I do not see this note in your paper, I will do something nasty, which you know I'm capable of doing.
Yeah,
Like, so he did ask, but
yeah.
I mean, if he did kill 37, then he did get good.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like, When I was looking into it, it gave me all the other potential ones that it could be, but I kind of glossed over them.
Yeah, I mean, I could buy it being that many
Mm,
because, like, if we do an episode on Ted Bundy,
yeah.
he it's, like, confirmed he killed, like, 50, but
Jesus.
very likely he killed, I think it's something like over 100.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, that's what kind of makes this different is that he very much owns up to everything,
Yeah,
which is weird. He's just like, "Oh, yeah, here's all the proof. This is what I did."
yeah. He enjoys the chase, but suddenly stopped.
Mhm.
Just he'd like The Exorcist.
Yeah. I mean, you'll see when we watch the film as well, they really push that it's Arthur, so, like, the scene where they interview him,
Yeah.
he's obviously
It's
got the watch on, and, like,
right.
someone notices it, but then also he says like, just as they're about to leave after they've questioned him about it, he
Yeah,
says something like, and I don't know, I feel like this is just fiction for the film,
yeah.
but he says something like, "Even if I was the Zodiac killer, I wouldn't tell you."
Right.
Which is, like, even even if he didn't actually say that,
Yeah.
it's it's such it's such a, like, you just don't say that, do you?
Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
stupid.
I didn't do it, but even if I did do it, I wouldn't say
I
no.
wouldn't tell you. So what do you think?
So,
What do you think of this whole thing? Crazy story.
the thing with the girl, the first one, I
Okay.
could buy that. Was it confirmed that that was his letter? I'm pretty sure it was. Well, he had, like,
It was
the shout.
yeah, it was the one that he sent to, Paul Avery asking him to look.
So, it's a couple things. It's either, 1, throwing them off the scent, like, confusing them more. 2, it was his, like, first, and he just wants credit for it because he never got it.
Get the
And
numbers up.
yeah, get the numbers up. It's yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's just it's one of them, really.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like, the more you think about it, the less you have to say because there's nothing else to it. It's just
Yeah,
you have all this, like, information of what happened, but there's, like,
because
because
it's
there's so little at the end, there's so little, like, closure to it. You're not even like, "Oh, yeah, that's what happened." You're just kinda like, "Oh, yeah, okay, I
because
don't."
it's easy enough to just, do your research and be like, "Okay, some girl died here, it was unsolved, let's just claim for I did that."
Yeah, exactly.
Which also the same with, like, after so he killed the couple in the car
Mhm.
the first time, and then the second time that happened is when he rang up and was like, "I've just killed 2 people and last year."
I think he rang up. Oh, yeah, yeah, it was the second time, yeah, because he was like, "Oh, yeah, and I did it last year
Yeah.
too."
Like, it's very likely it was him, but still, it could have just been
Yeah, it could
someone.
not have been, yeah. That's the thing, like, his whole thing could have been just the sort of letters, and, like, maybe he killed one person, like the one guy that he put the thing on his car, the symbol on the car,
Yeah. I
and
mean
like, everything else could have been someone else as far as we know. Oh, apart from the taxi. So when you Google Arthur Lee Allen, it
mhm.
literally just comes up with the Zodiac Killer Wikipedia.
These right.
Early life. He was born in Hawaii,
Ooh.
grew up in Vallejo, California, graduated from high school. He was arrested for molesting children, served his sentence, found interest in killing animals as a kid and torturing bugs. A direct claim from Karen Allen, his mother.
Arthur, buddy.
Yeah.
It ain't looking good.
Oh, also,
Mhm.
this is a detail I forgot actually. To make his case even worse, the kid that survived the shooting in the car.
Yeah.
So he picked out. They gave him a lineup of like pictures, and
Right.
Arthur Lee Allen was on it, and he picked him. But however, it was like years and years after.
Okay.
So he was like a grown up guy.
Plus, he's probably already seen the whole, "It
Yeah.
might be Alan." It's Alan.
Well,
And so pretty much the only thing that throws it off is the DNA and the handwriting.
yeah.
Would what
But that's the thing. Those are the
even the
main thing.
DNA doesn't throw it off that much because they said originally they found some of his on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just the handwriting, which it's either he faked a different handwriting
Yeah.
or it
He
was
just
someone
used his,
else.
like, left hand.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's quite
that's
clever.
another thing. There was, like, spelling mistakes, like, a lot.
Right.
When he'd spell, Christmas like Christ and then mass with another S.
Bit of a man child.
Yeah, and, like, when he sent the postcard to, Paul Avery, he'd
Right.
spell it Averly with, like, an L.
Right. That's weird.
So,
I mean, you wouldn't expect that from a former teacher, whatever he was.
well, yeah, but
But
he clearly wasn't teaching.
he oh, yeah, I guess. So my theory, he was the first girl, the very like in '66.
Mhm.
She had some problems with her car. And he's like, I'm just gonna go help her.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, do you mind if what if we find this secluded area and just chat? You are a lovely lady. And she's like, oh, sure. And they had their hour-long chat.
Mhm.
And he was like, so you like kids? So, "Oh, what do you mean? You're fond of them?
You fondle them?
You're fond of them?"
Sorry, fond of them?
So, no, and she tried to leave. He got aggressive.
Mhm.
One thing led to another. She's dead.
Yep.
He makes his getaway and realizes, "Oh, that was fun."
Mhm.
Like, not only was it fun, I got away with it.
And I got away with it too.
And the rest is history.
Mm.
He went on and did his thing, and then I imagine just kept on killing. Probably got to an age where he was too old. Uh, I don't know. He might have been like 50 when he died.
Yeah, he died in 92. 58.
So yeah, depending how good at it you've gotten, I think he slowed down a bit.
Yeah, I think his age caught up to him.
Died, I assume, alone.
Yeah, in his house.
One, I hope, alone.
It's just
It's just weird, yeah.
I don't know, I don't know.
It's just missing that one hard bit of evidence.
Yeah, and we'll never get it
Yeah, unless he's still alive and he strikes again.
unless it wasn't him and it was someone else.
He does like a reboot, Zodiac 2.
The Zodiac reboot.
Yeah.
Uh,
They're bringing back old films. He
yeah,
will do
yeah.
the same.
They'll get someone else to play him. He'll get some younger guy to go out and do the killings for him.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Like, I reckon if he was alive and watched the Zodiac film, he'd be a bit annoyed that Arthur was getting all the credit.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. He watches it and he's like, "They didn't even mention me."
Alright, well, I now know the Zodiac, and yeah,
There you go.
I hate knowing it'll probably never get solved.
So do I. It's the worst.
Yeah,
I just love it. I think it's so intriguing.
but serial killers are intriguing. The bit I enjoy is what the ones we do know who they are, you can
Yeah.
then do a very detailed look at their whole life
Yeah.
and sort of work out where it all went wrong.
Where it went wrong, yeah.
But yeah,
We've got to watch the movie.
we have got to watch the movie, and we shall.
Mhm. And that'll do a way better job of explaining all of this.
With help from what's his face? He plays it.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Thank you, Jake Gyllenhaal.
We appreciate you, Jake. I'll tell you what, Zodiac Killer, this is a
Mhm.
message to you.
Okay.
If you're out there and
Yeah.
you stumble upon this little podcast,
Sure he will.
just what I want you to do is I want you to go on Reddit
Right.
and I want you to make an account called
Mhm.
I am the Zodiac. But I want you to capitalize the O in Zodiac. And I want you to just explain. Just explain it all. Just drop it all out. And you'll still be anonymous,
Yeah.
but
Definitely.
and if you want to call into the show, hey.
All right. And yeah, we'll make a detective agency subreddit,
Yep.
and you can just post on there.
Yeah.
Cheers, Odie.
Cheers, Zordy.
We've known by Zodi now. I think we're close enough.
Yeah, we know quite a lot about him
Yeah.
now.
Well, thank you very much. I
Thank you.
think.
Thanks for listening.
Would you like a teaser?
Oh, have you got another one lined
for
up? Or...
next time. I haven't done the full research, but it's
Okay, go on.
I think it's time we moved on to aliens,
Yay.
and, we're going to the probably the most famous, if not you'd call it the original.
Oh, the original, you might
The
say.
the original abduction, you might say, in which the classic abduction stories?
Well, the one where
Well,
it's like I went into a forest, they took me, they probed me, and put me back.
yeah, and what makes this one unique is because it's the first, and so they weren't based off anything.
Ah, yeah.
So it's an original idea at the time.
And has it stayed like faithful through the years?
Yeah, and it's like, are people just copying that idea, or is it that the same thing is happening?
Oh,
But yeah, there we go.
I'm excited. We'll tune in next week.
Yeah.
Talk about some bloody aliens, mate.
Oh, yeah. But until then, keep your wheels on your car safe.
Yeah, if like your wheels seem loose, just do them yourself, mate.
If
Bring-
someone stops in the road blocking you, just reverse. Just
Yeah.
reverse and don't look back.
And remember, whatever you do, if you get in a car with a stranger and he's taking you to the to the petrol station and it takes 3.5 hours,
Mhm.
just call someone. Just
And
call
who
someone.
says we don't help anyone? So,
Right.
farewell.
Bye.